Good evening, my dear students. Today I have taken another numerical from AC Fundamentals. The main purpose of this video is to explain the numerical to the students. So you can see this is the circuit. So this is a coil. It is having resistance 15 and L part is 0.02 Henry. And there is another resistance whose value is 30 ohms connected in series with this coil, and there is another capacitance whose value is 50 microfarad connected in series with all the element. Now we have to calculate from the circuit. Number one, net impedance of the circuit ZT, net current I of the circuit, that is current I which is coming from the source, voltage across each element, power factor of the circuit, power consumed in the circuit, and we have to draw the phasor diagram of the circuit. So first of all, given data. What are the given data? That is Vs, source voltage, is given 230 volt angle 0 degree and 50 Hertz. Now impedance of the coil, so this is your coil part. So impedance I have assumed it is Z1, so it is 15 plus j XL. XL means omega into L, this much ohms. Now Z1 is equal to 15 plus j, if I replace omega is equal to 2 pi f, so every data we have and multiply with 0.02, we will get Z1 is equal to 15 plus j 6.28 ohms. So Z1 in polar form, it is 16.26 angle 22.72 degree ohms, and a resistance R is connected in series, that is 30 ohms from the figure, and a capacitance C of 50 microfarad is also given in the circuit. Now capacitive reactance Xc is equal to 1 by omega C. So if I replace Xc is equal to 1 by 2 pi Fc, so this will be your 314 into 50 into 10 to the power minus 6. This is your capacitance value, and if you multiply 2 pi F, you will get 314. So Xc value is 63.7 ohms. Now step number 1, net impedance ZT. So ZT means the entire circuit impedance. That means RT, that is total resistance in the circuit connected in series, plus j XL minus Xc. So if I replace the total resistance, so total is, here it is 15 and here it is 30, so total is 45, and this XL we calculated here, XL is 6.28 if we calculated. So if I replace here 6.28 minus Xc is 63.7, so if I put here, so it will be negative j times 57.42. So if I convert this rectangular to the polar form, so ZT will be 72.95 angle minus 52 degree ohms. That is your first answer, net impedance. Now step number 2, net current. So net current is, we know that current is equal to voltage by impedance. So voltage is given 230 angle 0. So 230 angle 0 divided by ZT, we already calculated here 72.95 angle minus 52 degree. So if you calculate, you will get 3.1528 angle 52 degree ampere. Obviously we can see from the impedance that it is contain capacitive element much higher than inductive element, so the circuit will behave like capacitive circuit. So we know that in capacitive circuit the current is leading with respect to its voltage. So here we can see that voltage is angle 0 degree, but here current is angle positive 52 degrees. So the current is leading by 52 degree with respect to the voltage, system voltage here. Now step number 3, voltage across each element. So first element is our coil. So what is the voltage across the coil? So voltage is V coil is equal to I passing through the coil into impedance of the coil only. So this is the impedance of the coil Z1, multiply current with this element. So here current value we already calculated, here it is 3.1528 angle 52, and this is your impedance of the coil. So if we multiply, we will get 51.26 angle of 74.27 degree volts. So what I did, I multiplied current with impedance. You can also cross check the amount of the voltage by voltage division rule. So total voltage in the circuit into impedance of the coil divided by total impedance of the circuit. So this is your total impedance of the circuit connected in series with a voltage source. So this, if you perform this calculation, you will get 51.26 angle 74.72 degree volts, which is exactly same by multiplying Z and I. Now what does it mean? That is, angle of the coil voltage is 74.72. So here I have drawn phasor relation of coil. So this current already common to all the elements, and it is I angle 52. So I have taken, this is your x-axis, which is reference line, that is 0 degree, and this is your y-axis. So I is angle of 52, so I have drawn, this is your I, which is 52 ahead of 0 reference line, and V we already calculated, its angle is 74.72 with respect to 0 reference line. So difference between voltage and current, which voltage? The coil voltage, and current passing through the coil is only 22.72. so that is nothing but this angle, that is impedance of the coil, impedance angle of the coil 22.72. you can see, if you subtract this 74.72 minus 52, you will get the same angle. Now step number B, voltage across 30 ohms, that is VR. It is nothing but current multiply with that 30 ohm resistance, that will be 94.584 angle 52 volts. I have again drawn the phasor relation in the resistor part. So this is your x-axis, and I have considered this is your reference, and this is y-axis, and we know that the current angle was 52 and voltage angle was also 52. So we know that in resistive element, current and voltage will be in same phase. You can see the angle here, red color is indicating your current, which is angle of 52, and blue color also indicating in the same phase of the current, also it is angle is 52 degree. So both are in same line. So that means current and voltage are in same phase across the resistance 30 ohms. Now see, voltage across capacitor. Here is the capacitor. So capacitive reactance we have already calculated 63.7. So if I resolve it in polar form, so it will be, magnitude will be same, that is 63.7, angle will be minus 90 degree. So VC, that is voltage across capacitor, is nothing but multiplication of XC with current. So this is your current and this is your XC part. So if you multiply, you will get 200.83 angle of minus 38. So we know that in capacitor, current is leading by 90 degree with respect to voltage across it. So here the angle of voltage is minus 38. So this is my reference line. I have drawn this angle, which is nothing but minus 38 degree, and this angle with respect to zero reference line is 52. So you can see the difference between VC and I is exactly 90 degree. Step number 4, we have to calculate the power factor of the circuit. So we know that power factor of a circuit is cosine of angle between voltage and current. So we have the voltage V is equal to 230 angle 0 and current is equal to 3.1528 angle 52 degree ampere. So what is the difference between these two? It is only 52. And if I put cos 52, so it will be 0.616, and it is a unitless quantity. In another way also, we have ZT, that is total impedance of the circuit, is 45 minus J 57.42. This is your total resistance of the circuit, and this is your total reactance part of the circuit, and this is your ZT, and we have calculated that ZD is equal to 72.95. So if I plot this ZD, RT and X in a impedance triangle, so we will get this impedance. So this is your resistance 45, this side your reactance, so it is 57.42, and this is your ZD impedance of the circuit 72.95. So cos theta from this triangle, we can easily find that it is R by Z. So R is 45 by Z is 72.95. It will come again the same value 0.616, which is exactly similar of this. Now step number 5, power consumed or power dissipate or absorbed in the circuit. So all terms are same. So we know that the power consumed in a circuit, it is active power, which is given by P is equal to Vrms Irms cos theta, that is angle between these two. So we know that theta is 52. So if I put that V is equal to 230, I is equal to 3.1528, and cos theta already we have, it is 0.616. So that much watts will be the active power. So it is coming 447.312 watts. So in another way also we can calculate the active power, it is I square R. So if you do the I square R form, so you will get also 447.31, which is approximately same value. So this is your active power, and it is power consumed in the circuit is over. So extra, I have calculated your reactive power, that is Vi sin theta. If you put sin theta into V into I, if you perform this, you will get 571 volt ampere reactive. Other way, if you perform this equation, I square into X, so you will also have this value, which is approximately. I also calculated the apparent power S, that is under root P square plus Q square, that is active power square plus reactive power square, and it is coming 725.35 volt ampere. In another way also you can calculate the apparent power, that is only voltage multiply the current without angle. So if I perform this, I am also getting it is 7 to 5.14, which is approximately equal to. Now step number 6, phasor diagram of the circuit. I have redrawn this circuit like this. First I have drawn the resistor part, second I have drawn the coil part, and third I have drawn the capacitor. So what is the technique I am following? First I will draw the phasor diagram of the resistor element. Generally people are doing like current will be same phase with respect to the voltage. Here the current and voltage will be some phase angle difference. So that's why I have taken the resistive element. First I will draw the same phase part, then some angle, and then capacitor voltage. And we have Vs, that is source voltage, that is nothing but voltage drop across resistor, voltage drop across coil, voltage drop across capacitor. All the voltage vector summation should be 230 angle 0. Now we have already calculated I is this, VR is this, so both are in same phase because it is resistive voltage drop. So it is also 52 and this voltage also 52 degree. So both are in same phase. Now voltage across coil is this magnitude and angle is 74.72 degree volts, and voltage across C is 200.83 angle 38 degree. That means the difference between this and this is exactly 90 degree. As we know that it is capacitor, so current and voltage, the difference between voltage and current phasor should be 90 degree from each apart. So I am coming to here. So I have drawn a reference axis, that is X, and I have assumed this is 0 degree as it is reference axis, and this is your Y axis. Now I will plot first the current, which is angle 52 degree with respect to the reference axis. So I have drawn by the black color. This is your magnitude of the current and this is your angle 52, which is this blue color, indicating blue color. Now the resistive voltage drop I have shown in red color, 94.58 for angle 52. Also it is in same phase. This is 52, that means this voltage VR will be in same phase with the system current. Now coil voltage. So coil voltage is 47.72 degree with respect to the reference. We have this value of coil voltage 51.26 angle 74.72 with respect to the reference. So I have plotted this blue color, and so that means what is the difference between this current axis, that is nothing but 74.72, and this angle is 52, that means 22.72 here. Now from here I will add the capacitance voltage, which is 200.83 angle minus 38. So this is reference axis 0. I have drawn this line parallel to this line. So that means this is your angle minus 30. So from reference line, this voltage angle is negative 38. Now what should be the resultant voltage drop? Resultant voltage drop is nothing but vector sum of all the voltage drop. So here, from here to here it is voltage drop across resistor, from here to here it is voltage drop across coil, and from here to here it is voltage drop across capacitance. So from zero line to this line should be the resultant voltage drop. So I have simplified the things more further, so I will put the name of the, and this point is A point, this point is A point, and from A, and this point is B point. So this is your reference line, and it should be also the supply voltage, and the magnitude of this line should be 230 and angle should be 0, because we have our system voltage 230 and angle 0. Now we will prove that if it is coming 230 or not. So I will split this coil voltage in horizontal part. So horizontal component will be cos 22.72. So this multiply cos 22.72 will be this component. Now we will add the VR plus this component and this AB component. Now coming to the calculation part, first COA. So OA is where? OA is from here to here. So this is your VR and this is your horizontal component of coil voltage. So if you add these two, you will get this magnitude is 94.58, and I am not writing the angle because I am taking this component only, and plus 51.26 with horizontal component, it will come cos 74.72. This will come 141.86. Now AB, vertical component of this will be 51.26 into sine of 74.72, and it will be subtracted by this VC, that is 200.83 angle 90 degree. So AB is the vertical component of coil voltage, it is 51.26 sine 22.72 minus this 200.83. I am taking along this, so I am not including this 90 degree angle. So if you simplify, you will get negative of this 181.031. So what is the resultant? This is the resultant. So it is Vs. So if I write it is Vs, that means this is your Vs. It is nothing but OA square plus AB square, and it is coming 229.992, that is approximately 230, which is exactly matching with the system voltage. Now what is the angle? Angle is tan inverse of minus 181.031 divided by 141.86. So it is coming minus 51.99, that is approximately minus 52. So with respect to the current, it is coming negative 52. That means exactly the zero line, because this was 52 positive angle and we have to plot negative 52. That means it will come to the 0 degree reference line. So I hope you understand this part, and it is also very important thing. So you do practice, and if you have any doubts, please put a comment. So thank you.